the Antichrist, and the 10 kings that will reign with him for 1 hour. Pay attention. In Revelation 13, John the Apostle writes about the beast that rises from the sea. And from the last video, we understood that the beast that rises from the sea is the Antichrist and his global empire, and the sea represents multitudes, nations, peoples, and tongues. We know this because in Revelation 17, the great whore, which is Babylon the Great, sits upon these same waters. Look what it says here in verse 15. And he said to me, the waters which you saw, where the whore sits, are peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues. So the Antichrist kingdom will rise from amongst the nations. Now you have to remember that the Apostle John is seeing this in the form of a vision. In fact, the whole book of Revelation is a vision. Therefore, what he sees in this vision is what it looks like in the spirit and not in the natural. And therefore, we trust the scriptures to unveil the truth. Revelation 13, verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast. And who is this? This is the Antichrist empire, rising up out of the sea, or out of the nations, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. Now we're going to come back to the 7 heads. Who are the 10 horns? Revelation 17:12 tells us, and the 10 horns which you saw are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as of yet, but receive power or authority as kings or rulers 1 hour with the beast. And the key to identifying these kings is understanding that they first did not have a kingdom, meaning they did not have global authority. It doesn't mean that they didn't have authority before over a certain nation or a country, but they didn't have global authority. When they receive power with the Antichrist, they will then get global authority. Now, I want to call to your remembrance something. Do you remember the temptation of Jesus after having fasted for 40 days? And do you remember one of the things that Satan tested him with? He tested him with global power. Matthew 4 verse 8 says here, again the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world, and the glory of them, and said to him, all these things will I give you, if you will fall down and worship me. Well, we all know that Jesus didn't take the bait, but the Antichrist will. It is written in Revelation 13 that the Antichrist will worship the dragon, which is the devil, and in turn, he will be given authority over the nations, and he will reign for 1 hour. And for those of us that understand the prophecy, we know that the Antichrist will reign for 42 months. Now, not only does the book of Revelation speak about these 10 kings, so does the prophet Daniel. In Revelation 7:23, Daniel talks about the 4th beast, which is the Antichrist kingdom. The 4th beast shall be a 4th kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms. It's going to be diverse than all of the other empires that have ever reigned over the nations, and shall devour the whole earth, and tread it down or trample it down, and break it in pieces. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall rise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings, and he shall speak great words against the Most High. Now there's a lot to unpack here, but we're going to keep it in context surrounding the 10 horns. When this 4th empire rises, when it takes the stage, there are going to be 10 horns or 10 kings that will rise with it. These 10 kings will have had authority, but each king individually will not have had global authority that they will receive from the Antichrist who will rise after them. And when he arises, the Antichrist, he will be given authority and power over all nations, and he will share that kingdom, that dominion, that power with the 10 kings. And remember, this is demonic power from the devil. Now we also have to account for this truth right here. When the Antichrist rises, he will subdue 3 of those kings out of the 10. And that in turn will leave 7 kings, with the Antichrist being the 8th. And so therefore, all of this briefly explains the 10 kings or the 10 horns. And then upon those horns or 10 crowns. And what is that? That's their authority. And upon the heads, the name of blasphemy. And blasphemy is their banner, one of the major ways that they will be identified. Revelation 13:5 gives us detail behind this blasphemy. And there was given unto him, the beast, a mouth, speaking great things and blasphemies. And power was given unto him to continue or to reign 42 months or 3.5 years. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name, his tabernacle, and those that dwell in heaven. Verse 7, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints, that's the church, and to overcome them.